Oh, my Fox fan, so I Game of Fox, and I started watching Jentry Chau versus the Underworld. And I'm only on episode 7 right now. I want to do like half season because here's the thing: there's 13 episodes, so I'm like, holy shit, this is like almost an entire season of an actual show. Holy shit, it's not just 7 episodes or like whatever. In any case, I think Superman might have just Superman actually. Anyways, beside the point. God, this show is good. Because here's the thing. If you couldn't tell, I like the Owl House. If I haven't brought it up every other video I've ever made since I started watching that show. And there's some things I'll note it. Like, there's sometimes when you watch something and you know, like, the inspiration behind it. That's where I want to open this video. Because, okay, if you watch the Owl House, it, like, first you might think, oh, Harry Potter. It's kind of a little, but not really. It's more or less Studio Ghibli is a big inspiration for the Owl House. Am I basing that off of any interviews with Donna? No, but I am basing off of things like Luz's invisibility spell has her having to hold her breath, like the main character of Spirited Away. Though the freaking what is it? The Good Witch is kind of like the good, or the witches or whatever that are like the sisters that are fighting each other, and all that stuff is, again, Spirited Away. You have things like Howl's Moving Castle. That's a really big one. If anything, that's the reason for like the house moving with Hootie, and also there's literally, I think, an episode called Hootie's Moving Castle. Like, there's a lot going on there. Okay, that was that. Amphibia, maybe with the superpower bits, is kind of like Dragon Ball Z, but I would say more if you watch another one of my new favorite running show, the Invincible Fight Girl. That one is very much based on Dragon Ball Z, different animes of that such, shonen animes, like stuff like that. That is a very big inspiration for that show. Again, not basing this off of anything like interviews or anything like that, simply going off of what the show gives and what it tells and all that other stuff within it. Like, it's like something that's coded into the DNA. It's like, oh, Star Wars Forces Evil, Sailor Moon. That's an easy one. Stuff like that, okay? Hazbin Hotel, just Disney in general. Like, there's always that stuff. I'm honestly kind of shocked it took this long to see an animated show that's based not only off of Twilight, but also off of Monster of the Week and like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and all that stuff. That's what this show is. I know it's hard to see with a bright thing, but also it's probably I wouldn't get copyright hit. But anyways, Jentry Chau is 100%, like, I feel like 100% it's based off of that. Like, so the points, actually, if anything, I could use this opening to kind of show it a little bit. Like, the main, like, just for a setup of, like, pretty much every one of these types of shows, the main character has some kind of magical power or is chosen. Oh, hold on a minute. They're special chosen. They're born with some magical power, but it's tied to their family history through some mysterious bullshit. Like, that's Jentry. She has she's like the chosen one. She has these weird fire powers of the Yellow Emperor, which I'm pretty sure is an actual legend. I just don't want to look it up because I don't want to get spoiled too much. But, if I remember, is it the Yellow Emperor? The 4 cardinal directions, and then it's the Yellow Dragon. In that one. Because that might actually tie to that too. Because I know in the Chinese mythology, there's, if I'm remembering correctly, the White Tiger, I can't remember the other 2. I think there's a Blue Dragon, I think. I do know that the Black Tortoise with a snake tail is, I believe, south, and is also, the one for December, or winter time. So, but, I can't remember. And then there's the Yellow Dragon that's like in between them, which I think might actually tie into what Jentry is. But, that being said, Jentry has some magical powers, thinks she's the chosen one and all this other stuff. And just like his first episode, she accidentally opens a hole into the underworld, and pretty much that allows the monsters of the week to start popping out every other episode. Really fun. Like, I'm like, all right, you have a perfect set for all this. And then you also, again, the bit of Twilight reference. Also, this entrance is pretty good. I like the, also I love all the poses. And also I have the art style for the intro. Also, just to kind of, just to hammer in also the obvious inspirations for this show, they literally named the Jingxi, which is a hopping vampire in Chinese mythology. They named him Ed, and he literally says, after Edward Cullen, and before shapeshifting his face to look like Edward Cullen. But, also, I learned about Jingxi through, actually not sure if you can see him. Well, you probably can. He's right next to Okami, which Okami already, big way of learning a lot about mythologies. But, Hao Asakura over there, from Shaman King, because in Shaman King, not Hao, but Ren, who's Yo Asakura's, like, Piccolo, I guess, I want to say like he's a Piccolo. This is like his second in command, best friend kind of guy. Ren's sister, for her, I think, 8th birthday, was given the Jingxi of Bruce Lee, which they pretty much, it's if Bruce Lee died during the movie because of a Chinese family wanting his dead corpse to be reanimated as a Jingxi to then be the guardian of the daughter as a gift. I love Shaman King, the insanity. So yeah, they have Bruce Lee, who's a Jingxi, which are pretty much, I'm not sure what creates a Jingxi. If Shaman King thing, they just kill someone and they bring it back with a spell. Then they use I know they use a talisman that they put on the forehead to make him do stuff, which Gugu, which is Gentry's great grandma, I'm not entirely sure on that point, use that to freeze him up, which I guess, yeah, use the spell talisman to command him. But yeah, Gentry has magical powers, Ed is literally named after Edward Cullen, which makes you wonder when the hell was he born or made, if he had any named after, or did he just go by that name? Who also I really like, he really fits like the kid brother archetype for Gentry at one point, because obviously, of course, the little cute guy becomes best friends with the main character. But also, like, there's an evil Mogwai, the gremlin thing, trying to track down Gentry because he made a deal with Gugu about that when she turned 16, that he would come take her soul, so that way he could use the flame powers that Gentry has to then revive his daughter. Gugu goes back on the deal, tries to kill him, doesn't work. She dies, which I was like, oh shit, she becomes a ghost. Also, while this is all going on too, Gentry was living in Korea when Ed attacked and Gugu came, and Gentry then moved back to Texas, where it turns out she burned down the town, which, I just want to say this right now. I live in Chicago, when I lived in Texas and Chicago. I live in Chicago. There was a fire that burned down all of Chicago. A great fire, you might say. And like they blamed it on a cow kicking a lantern over, and then it turns out years later, that wasn't it. But yeah, so that happened. And mind you, I don't know, tell me if you all knew about this great fire, because I don't think we ever talk about it as much as this town does. Like, holy shit. like, and mind you, also, fun fact, just to show how Chicago's full of criminals. because, okay, Chicago got burned down, and the British heard about this, like, oh my god, your library must have burned down. We'll send you books. And the Chicagos who didn't have a library goes, yes, our library burned down. Yup, we need those books. And that's how we have a book. That's why there's a library downtown. And also why, if I remember, I think it is the library with the owls. I think it is. I'm not entirely sure on that. I could be wrong. So like, yes, we had a library. They didn't have a library. Like, Jesus Christ, this town is Gotham. But yeah. So, anyways, yeah, they bring it up every so often to the point where like the principal over there with the the mustache, he's like obsessed with it. And okay, and then like there's also just to go back to the Twilight thing. So that's set up. Okay, so another thing that's very Twilight-esque and very much like Buffy the Vampire Slayer or all this other stuff. You have the two love interests. The one who's the guy who she's obviously going to get with, Michael, or the bad boy who you really like more than Michael and you want her to get with him. But no, he has to be Jacobed. Also, he has... I haven't gotten to that part yet. I'm just going to go ahead and assume, because he's seeing visions and stuff, and he has these markings. I'm guessing he has Black Panther powers. Or powers from Black Panther powers. I'm saying that as in a sense of he has powers from Africa. Something like that. Some African lineage, bloodline thing. Which I want to know more about, because it seems very much the Taoist ones are the only people that are right in this show, which I'm just like, okay. But then you also have something like this. Kit here, who's a painted skin, which are these skeletal demons that come from DU, which is the Underworld. But then also you have an image right here where he has a wing, and I just realized that's a soul. So I don't know if he gets a soul at some point, and then because his whole thing is that he wants to get a soul, and Chang is saying, you know, go, take Gentry's soul, take Gentry's chi, so she dies, and I can take her soul, and I can give you your soul. Kit, however, is fighting back against it. He's like, no, I can't do it. And and like he's like, I can't kill Jentry. I love her. And Chang's like, yeah, but you killed a bunch of other people you love. Like, don't you remember this entire list? Like, shows all the people he's killed. And pretty much, he's an immortal, undead vampire kid. Like, that's what he is. He's Edward for goddamn color. And that's the thing, too. Like, God, the references in this. One, it's really funny because they bring up TikTok because Ed's trying to be an influencer. Because, sure, I ain't gonna, because some people are like, oh my God, he's trying to be an influencer. That's so, I grew up with Kingdom Hearts as well as a bunch of other stuff where they're like, let's throw in a skateboard in here. Why does Roxas have a skateboard? Why does Sora have a skateboard? Have they ever touched a skateboard before in their lives? No, but they have it now. So let's have skateboard missions, side mini missions that have no tie into anything in the story at all. Like, skateboarding was like such a big thing. They're like, I saw it everywhere, and like, I ain't gonna fault a modern show for doing what the modern thing is, which is influencing and all that other shit. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna give a show shit for that and roll my eyes at it. It worked on me, and I loved it, and this is kind of funny. But God. So, okay, so... Yeah, and Kid, like... And the thing is, Kid, like, is, like, he legit, like, no, I'm not gonna kill Gentry. I'm gonna tell her. I'm gonna tell her what I am. I'm gonna tell her who I am. And that's the thing, too. Like, when he tells her, obviously, it's like, it's after a big thing, a big stressful thing. But also, on that same note, he did tell her before, like, someone else tried to... Well, I guess Gugu tried to reveal it. But... They tried to reveal it, and Gentry kind of just, like, pulled back. I'm hoping Gentry's gonna make the right choice and be like, I'm sorry? But also, like, I don't know, because, like, he was trying to tell her, and, like, all this time, he's been trying to tell her. It's like, come on, give the boy some slack. And the thing is, I know he's gonna be Jacob. I know it. I don't like Twilight. I don't. But I know 100% that they're gonna Shark Boy this guy. He's like, no, I can't do it. And anyways, oh yeah, references. I'm jumping over. Okay, so they brought up references at one point where they have a frog and they're cutting it open, and Kit is trying to get close to Gentry and all that stuff, and they talk about this frog, and they say, oh man, he sacrificed himself for us. I'm gonna name him Neji. And Gentry's like, I think he's more of a Sasuke. Which I'm like, oh my God, are you really bringing up the guy with glowy red eyes who can see chakra channels and all that stuff when you have another glowy-eyed guy who can see chakra channels? I'm like, come on now. I'm like, God damn it, I can see your inspirations. Mind you, I'm way more obvious with some of my writing, but still. At least you see my Sunday streams and talk about Owltown. Go check out Owltown. But my own little anime thing. Anyways. God, Kit. God, I feel so bad for him because I'm like, God, you should be the one who gets with Jentry, but I also know you're not going to because you're going to get with this guy or this girl. Or this guy is going to, Jentry's going to get with this guy with African eyes. Actually, they both have special eyes. What the fuck? Well, then again, Neji and Sasuke both have different colored eyes too. Have magic eyes too. One of them had eyes of to see chakra and stuff like that. Which I guess that was more the Byakugan. So he has more of a Byakugan than a Sharingan. Where Michael has. Well, no, because couldn't Sharingan also see chakra? No, Sharingan could only see the chakra color. I'm having a conversation with myself. You can see... Sharingan can allow you to see chakra in different colors, but you couldn't see the chakra points. Wait, no, you couldn't. But Byakugan allowed you to see a quote-unquote 360, when it was really like 355 or some shit like that, vision around you, but then also allowed you to see the chakra channels, and that's when Neji looked into Naruto, and Naruto looked back like, hi! But, anyways, I'm trying to remember now, I'm thinking like, wait a minute, which one has the Byakugan, which one has the Sharingan, which also the Sharingan was based off of Monkey King's eyes. Red eyes, anyways. Okay. Where was I? I went off track. Okay. So, Jentry has magic powers, two like chisel-jawed, like tall guys who both like her, and Michael who oh no, he's dating this one Hispanic chick, but he's starting to feel feelings for her, but and like while this is all going on, you have Jentry fighting all these monsters, her grandma Gugu hiding like what happened to her parents, because it turns out their parents were like black market magic dealers actually now. And I'm on episode 7. This is apparently when everything's supposed to be revealed. Yellow Emperor, that's what's his name? There's the guy who's I guess kind of watches DU. I don't know who that is. But there's a bounty hunter who drinks youth elixirs to stay young. Whenever she uses her powers, she like gets old again. God, there's so much in like these last 7 episodes. That's why I want to make this episode first before I continue for the rest of it. But God, okay. So Jentry has magic powers set up. She accidentally opens a portal, rips a hole in a portal when fighting Mr. Chang, who is a Mogwai. She is dealing with liking Kit, but Kit's also a liar, trying to take her soul, but it turns out that he's to get his own soul, but he's also like, no, I can't do it, I love her. And then you have Michael, who's with this girl, but doesn't want to do football anymore, even though that's part of this girl's plan, and his parents' plan. He wants to do the clarinet, or the flute, and he's bad at it, but, that's his choice to do it, though. And then a lunch lady says, you can't choose. Then tells this guy, you have to choose. And if you don't choose, someone will choose for you. And it's like, what the fuck is going on? Couldn't you guys just swap lunches? Why is this a problem? God. And then Gentry's also fighting all these demons. And then at one point, like another thing that feels very much like it feels like I'm watching Supernatural, but also mixed with like Twilight-esque things. And also, I'm kind of happy that Michael didn't cheat on his girlfriend or something, because he's like, no, I don't feel right with you right now, and like pretty much trying to take a break. And that's also activating some of his super African future sight. God, there's so much in these few episodes. It's so good. They go to the Texas Fair, which throughout all of the first half of the season, they've been hyping up the Texas Fair, which I thought, oh shit, is something big gonna happen? Which kind of is. Like, Gentry eventually, like, after chasing down the Taoist thing, and that was the episode where Kit revealed to be a painted skin demon who creates fake skins with like magic paint or whatever. Where Jentry figures out that Gugu was straight up lying and tries to talk to the Taoist priest. And also like another thing too is like another thing that's very Buffy-esque is like her slowly building her squad. But also on the same note, like at one point Jentry straight announces and says, again, I never bring, again, big fire, Chicago, no one gets to talk. It's a big tourist trap thing for this town of the demon girl who burned down everything and like how this guy's like house got burned down and all this stuff. Okay. Gentry straight says it in front of her high school and everything on the speaker, like, yeah, I'm the one who burned it down. Mind you, she's saying it to these two like gates protectors of hell. Tells them like, look, I burned down my town already. I burned my town down, and like no one seems to ever go back to that. And like, like the principal is like, oh my god, like I know it's her. Like he even writes down a list that goes, oh, she remembers like it seems like, oh, maybe she's passing it off like any other cartoon would be like, oh, she's very jittery about this topic, and like the principal when she's signing up to go to the school, is very much like keeping it like maybe like, oh, like she's just oblivious. And he's like, no, he straight writes down like, okay. She's the right age. She's nervous when we talk about the fire. Like she's probably the fire girl, and turns out it's correct. And like he's just super suspicious. Not even suspicious. He knows it's her. She admitted it. I'm very surprised no one else brought this shit up. I'm like, really? Like you have like okay, I don't know. It's so weird. And like they think that she tried to burn down the school. Maybe there's just no proof of it, but it's just like. I feel like she'd be, like, kind of locked up at some point, or gone to the police a few times. I don't know. I don't know. It's funny, though. But, yeah. Yeah, and, like, I don't know, it's very fun. It's very, like, Riverdale, but also, again, done, I'd say, better than it. I feel like this is kind of what they were trying to go for season 1 of Korra, with, like, certain, like, aspects of, like, the love dating thing, stuff like that, but I feel like those probably came from people who didn't really understand those shows. Mind you, I'm someone who grew up with Smallville, Charmed, Buffy. God, Kid is Spike, and then would Michael be Angel? See, kids, if you don't know this, before Twilight, before there was Edward and Jacob, there was Angel and Spike. And those were Buffy's, like, two love interests. Both of them vampires. One of them a good vampire. The other one a bad boy. Who was, yeah, like, I'm bad and all this stuff. Yeah, I'm evil. I was evil, but now I'm good. But maybe I'm still evil. God. Alright. Yeah, these are memories. Mind you, like, that's stuff I literally grew up with. Like, holy shit. Like, I was 4 or 5 watching this shit. God, the puppet episode in the Angel show freaking gave me nightmares. Not nightmares, it was just really weird. Because there's a point in there where, like, a puppet, like a Muppet puppet, was, like, controlling a actual person by sticking his hand up the guy's back, because there was a slit in his back to control him like a puppet. God, you gotta love. Okay, so this show is definitely hitting some spots that I'm really enjoying a lot. Let me just. There's certain things where, like, at one point we see, like, a guy who's, like, very about the Alamo. Remember the Alamo! Like, this kid who's, like, getting bullied. And, like, it just cuts to him 30 years before, like, how this started. And then it cuts to 30 years later when Gentry and his friends go there. And, like, he's, like, using the ghost to reenact things and I guess kill people. I don't know. I was like, I don't know how you get away with this or why this place is still open. Yeah, you've been doing it for 30 years. Tour guide, Michael's girlfriend's name is Stella, Bella. What is he, a skinwalker? Yeah, when Kit was revealed to be like, well, yeah, I just had a skin. I'm like, what the hell? Even like the next episode where it opens up with the two, like their daily morning routine. And like you see Kit like as a demon just getting washed and then like putting on his skin like clothes. His parents are just like not hiding at all that they're demons. They're like, hi son, how are you doing today? Like, holy shit. god, this show. Okay. There's so much. No interest, flute. I think I kind of covered most of the stuff. There's a girl that's like, I guess, a furry who has like cat ears all the time. Kid is the Spike. Yep. You fall, I'll catch you. He's more of a Sasuke. Neji, Texas Fair, talking to his girlfriend about her plan. This guy, like, God, Michael goes through so much shit. He breaks up with his girlfriend. He sees Jentry kiss Kit. He mistakes a Gui who like Ed was trying to help pass on as like someone with a flute, showing like he's not good, and then he goes back to football, which he doesn't want to do. There's so much drama in this. Granny is driving as a ghost, which I'm sure that was fun for everyone looking like, oh, look at that car. There's no one driving that car. Like, also another thing I actually really like about this too. One, again, I like Ed as like this little brother type to Jentry. I think it's really cute, and I do like that a lot. Yeah, I thought he'd be annoying, and he actually isn't. I feel like if there's a little brother dynamic there. Like I could see him and King from the Owl House getting along very well. What about? Oh, I like Gentry's fire powers a lot. Because that's the thing, like, there's certain things, like, if it's not done well, or if it's done something I've seen too many times before, or something that I just I can't make sense of, I guess. And I know that's like magic, but also I think magic and science are tightly connected, but that's beside the point. Technically I think magic is just science is just magic. Beside the point. Gentry's fire powers. I don't like Fire Force. Is it Fire Force? Whatever one's the one that's like Soul Eater's prequel or whatever. Like, it's the guy's like, I want to be a hero. I'm a hero. I want to be a hero. And he's like, is on fire and has the grin that's like teeth and all that stuff. I don't really like that show because everyone has fire powers, but they're all really different. But not that they're all really different, but like but then you have like one like, oh yeah, my fire powers, I can control a gun's bullets and make the bullets not hurt as much, I guess. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I guess you could project the bullet but no, that doesn't make any sense. And like, I don't know, I didn't really like that show a lot because I felt like its use of fire powers alone just kind of felt weird. Like, it felt like lack of imagination, I guess. I don't know. Gentry, her fire powers pretty much are just magical fire, but like, how it's done with like it being like different hues of pink and yellows and like how it's animated really makes it stand out a lot. And also, again, the setup of it being like a weekly, like it feels like a Monster of the Week show also adds a little bit more to it. I don't know, like I like her fire powers a lot more than a lot of other characters' fire powers in a lot of things. There's obviously like Taoist mythology also going on also. These two. Again, I like the animation of this thing where it looks like it's painted. Like, well, like that kind of art thing. Like, I honestly think that's probably why my art kind of looks really sketchy, because they try to replicate something similar to, like, this unevenness. Anyways. Thank you, Okami, for giving me that. But, man, I'm trying to think. But yeah, this show is really good. Like, it's definitely its own thing, too. But I really do find it funny. GG Rocks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. That was like the birthday, that was like Gugu's way to get in to like her thing. I thought Kit was an angel. Probably. Maybe he is. I don't know. The Yellow Emperor. Pearl of burying itself. There was a pearl that allowed her to see like her past things because Shane was using it to try to control her. Telekinetic sword fighting, which was really cool. I did also, one thing I actually really liked that was really good because a whole show, like, Gugu's been trying to force Gentry to learn how to use her powers. And say, like, you should do it. It's just easy. Just your powers. Just do it. Which, 100%. Like, here's the thing. There's some scenes where, like, I watch Superman and Lois. There's, like, I think season 1. I need to watch the entire show. In season 1, like, there's a point where one of his sons uses their powers for football, and he goes, "Get over here!" And I'm like, oh my god, that's so, like, that is a dad. That is a dad on screen. Holy shit. That is the most dad thing I've ever seen. Holy shit. That is a dad. Gugu is 100% that a grandma. To the point where, like, yeah, keeping secrets and being annoying about it, yeah. And then lying, saying, oh, I'm not keeping any secrets. Yeah, I have a grandma exactly like that. Not Ed. I'm not really pointing at Ed. I'm just pointing at the screen. In any case. Yeah. And this show is good. Like, if you like Monster of the Week, I definitely say to check this show out. I'm going to keep watching this, finish the rest of it, and I'll get back to you on how it ends. But it is super good. Like, holy. Like, it is pretty fun. It is pretty damn fun. I definitely want to see more of what's happening. I will say, though, it is kind of funny when, like, certain characters, like, after just immediately, I kind of forgot, like, oh, right, they cast this R with fire powers. And, like, they did fight ghosts, which I guess that just makes them, like, we're okay that there's demons everywhere and all this shit. Like, Michael's like, oh, yeah, there's that thing. Or just the demon that just jumped out there. Or, they see, like, Tex coming to life and walking up there and, like, yeah, that's just a thing of our lives now. It's like, I feel like some of you guys should kind of at least take a step back and be like, I am seeing the insanity of the supernatural, what is going on. I just feel like even if you were all possessed, I feel like there still should be some more of, like, there's some kind of logical explanation, right? Like, I don't know. Before you jump to magic. But I don't know. Maybe it's just like, just skip that. I don't know. Definitely want to see what's going to happen with Michael. Know anything, like, see the future I want to know about Kit and his bad boy status and all this other stuff. And, him being a demon, vampire thing. Has lived centuries and all this other shit. And then Jentry with her magic god powers. But yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching your videos. Hope you enjoy this. Also, Jentry wears, like, so many outfits. Jesus. Alright, but thanks for watching your videos. Hope you enjoy this, and we will see you later. God, this show is, again, really good. And the I should have brought the animation's great. I'm going to talk more in the next one.